Yeah.
It
Yeah.
yeah, so for me, like, that was the biggest thing that I had to get,
Yeah.
because I was young, I was naive, and I didn't know that, like, to "Bro, it's okay not being okay."
Yeah. And I just
Yeah,
came into that. I'm a lot older than you, and
yeah,
our regime was still into that. Hey, hide all your
right.
feelings, hide all whatever you're thinking, and hide not what you're thinking, but you can't come
Yeah,
out
your
and
problems are your problems.
right.
Sometimes when, like, I have a veteran that just got out or whatever, and he's dealing with this, and I could kinda see it because
Mhm.
I've been there, right? And I was like, "Bro, like, it's alright, like, you'll be alright."
All right, we back for another episode of the Entrepreneur Foxhole. I have Peter Diaz. He's a broker in town. He's participating in our broker owner series. He is the CEO and owner of Do Real Estate, and really happy to have him on. And we're gonna jump into this. No set format as we always do, but we're just gonna have some fun. And with that being said, who's Peter Diaz? Tell me about Peter Diaz.
Man, who's Peter Diaz? I don't know, I mean, it's hard to describe yourself. I mean, when people ask you, "Who are you?" Sometimes it's kinda hard to put an image to that. But, I mean, I guess it's somebody that looks to provide, protect, do right by people. I've been through, I had the pleasure to have a lot of good leadership under me, or, above me, and also bad leadership that showed me, what kind of person I wanted to be and what person I didn't want to be, kind of
Hmm.
thing. So
And that helps a lot because
yeah,
sometimes the bad shapes you in a way that better than you could ever think.
yeah,
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 for sure.
yeah.
And you served 7 years in the military, 2 tours in Afghanistan.
I did.
Who was you in the military?
I was just a kid. I joined the military straight out of high school. I didn't know what to do, and I think it was a lack of education because I knew I always wanted to go to college, but I didn't have the resources. I grew up. My mom made, I don't know, seven to $10,000 a year of
Mm,
income. So for me, it was like just getting out of the hood was a priority. But I knew I could. I wanted to go to college because I always liked school. School was my thing, but I wasn't educated enough to follow that. So when the army came knocking and said, "Hey, we're gonna give you 20, 25, $30,000 signing bonus," to me, that was like, "Holy shit,
yeah,
that's a lot
yeah,
of money."
a lot of money.
Yeah, for
Mhm.
me, I was like, "God damn, I'm rich."
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
no.
I'm rich, bitch.
Pretty much. But then you realize, shit, 30, it's not a lot of money. It's nothing. So, joined the military straight out of high school. I'm grateful I did because he gave me a lot of maturity that if I would've just went to college, I probably would have dropped out of college and
Mm,
came back. So, for me, it was just somebody that came straight from the hood and had this me mentality, right? To go into like the military was like it's a us mentality.
mhm.
So for me, that was a good thing. That it kind of broke me down to understand that there's a bigger thing than just myself.
Right.
You know,
Now, 2 tours in Afghanistan. Is there any lessons learned from that that still resonates with you today in
man,
terms of whatever you're doing now and how you approach things?
yeah. I mean, I think anybody that's been downrange, it shapes you differently.
Mm,
It makes you value what you have a lot more and
very true.
appreciate what you have. I mean, I was 18-year-old kid, 19-year-old kid downrange, no family, no nothing. And when you get back, all the things that you go through, you're like, man, I'm just grateful I can,
Right.
be here and take advantage of everything this beautiful country has
Yeah.
for us.
And sometimes with agents and stuff like that, you're looking at some of the problems that they think is big problems,
Yeah,
and you wanna be relatable. You wanna understand it, and you do. You empathize with people with their problems,
right.
but you got that lens that you're looking from, like, hey, it's not that bad,
No,
not
yeah.
that bad.
Yeah, it's
You know.
like I always tell them, like, it could always be worse.
Yeah.
Right. So you got to appreciate what you have because everything has a solution. Talked about earlier, like what I chose on my undergrad. And I did it because I'm good at solving problems. because
Okay.
it's just something that comes natural.
Okay.
And a lot of people close themselves and think, shit, this is the end of the world,
Right.
which is not. Like everything has a solution except death. Right? Other than that, we can fix it.
Yeah.
You figure out something.
Yeah. Figure it
And,
out.
agents will go crazy about, little things. They're like, relax.
Yeah.
We,
A little bit.
yeah.
Yeah. And so, we have a bunch of veterans in our office.
Hmm.
And one of the things we talk about a lot here is about when you, leave the military, your identity,
Yeah.
trying to find your identity again. Did you have anything that did that happen for you?
Yeah, I think it happens to everybody. I mean, I was only in 7 years, so it
Mhm.
wasn't a lot, right? I think you did 20 plus.
Yeah.
So going from military, you're brainwashed, right? You have a system. You wake up at a certain hour, and then you know what to do. When I got out, I had no idea what the hell to do. Like I knew I was in college, but that was it.
Yeah.
And I was like, now what? There has to be more to this, right?
Yeah.
And it's hard to find yourself and try to fit in. I mean, sounds weird, but to be normal.
Yeah. To be normal.
To
Yeah.
be normal, yeah.
To actually, you find yourself like, am I thinking normal or I'm thinking abnormal or am I
Yeah,
supposed to be thinking this way? Am I supposed to be feeling this way? Like,
right,
how's this
yeah,
really supposed to feel?
yeah, yeah, I
And you
always
go
feel
through
like
those.
you don't
Yeah.
fit in,
Yeah.
right? Like, you're
Right.
like, everybody looking at you weird, like,
Uh,
"Why is this dude doing this?"
yeah.
Right? But because you have all these tendencies,
Mhm.
so but yeah, it takes time. It took me about probably pretty much all my undergrad to kinda adapt to, like and to this day, I still wake up 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning, getting ready
Mm.
for PT, but there's no PT.
Yeah.
Uh, the way I eat, 30 seconds to a minute,
Yeah.
I need
Just
because it's
gotta.
it's mentality. It's not something that I do. It's just I've learned how to do
Yeah. I take my time eating now. I don't eat fast.
I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know, yeah, sometimes.
So let me ask you, at what point did real estate become something to you? I know you say you got into mathematics when you
Yeah.
first came out, but what point did it come to you and say, okay, hey, this real estate's gonna be my gig?
So it kinda just it was just by chance kinda thing, like, it just happened. Like, it was not something I didn't go to school and say, "I wanna do real estate." That was never in my mind. When I was in school, when I went to college, I was like, "I wanna be some type of engineer." I don't know what, but Imma do engineering. But I stuck with mathematics because it was easy to me. Numbers to me, logic, because it's not about numbers, about logic. So logic to me was pretty easy. Then when I graduated, I went into an engineering role or job, and I never thought about real estate. When I was an engineer, like I bought some real estate and did some investments, but I was never like, that's what I want to do. Right. But then COVID happened and then came me the opportunity. I was like, hey, maybe I can like get my license because we were not doing much during COVID. We were literally, everybody was at work from home,
Right.
which was really rare for me because in my industry, I was out in the field, out and about. So when COVID happened, it gave me the opportunity. I'm like, "Dude, we're gonna be down for 3, 4 months. Let me see if I can get this education in, get my license in, and I'll have something extra."
Okay. Now we got 3,500 ish licensed
Hmm.
agents, and we got about 3,200 realtors in El Paso. And when you look at the big picture, we got about 290, maybe 300 actual brokers.
Yeah,
And I looked at your bio. You said from the very jump,
yeah,
you knew that you didn't want to just be an agent or a
right,
realtor. You wanted
yeah,
to build a business and want to be a broker. Now,
yeah.
what really sparked that?
So I knew I was gonna change industries. So I was gonna come from engineering to real estate, which me for real estate was new. So I said to myself, "If I am gonna make this change, I'm not gonna do it just to be an agent. Like I have to own a business. I want to make sure that I'm the guy, right?" So from the get go, when I decided to make the change, I was like, all right, I'm gonna make the change. And the biggest thing why I made the change was because I needed to come back to El Paso because I used to live in Houston,
Okay.
right? So when I needed to come back to El Paso, there was not a lot of engineering jobs here,
Okay.
right? So I was like, all right, I need something that I know I'm gonna like and that I know that I can live off.
Is El Paso home for you?
It is home. Well,
Okay.
it is. I grew up here in El Paso, but I'm originally from California, which I think is a lot of people in El Paso are this way.
From Cali.
Yeah, but when I was a kid, my mom brought me over, actually to Juarez. So I went to school to Juarez and then came here to El Paso, and I grew up here ever since until I joined the military. Then I left. After that, college, and then I left again for work. But El Paso's home.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so the name Do Real Estate.
Do.
What is Do? Peter Diaz, but what is that really
Uh-huh.
all about?
It's about a lot of things. So, I also have like a business background. I have an MBA, and I learned that your brand is everything,
Mhm.
right? Because people are gonna recognize that. And what is it that your brand says? So I put so much thought into it. I mean, it's an acronym, but it's not really. So it's Diaz, equity, and wealth. Because I wanted to build my equity and my wealth with my clients too. I want to build them equity, build them wealth. Because that's
Okay.
what real estate does,
All right.
right? But it's more than that because you find do in the Bible a lot. I don't know if you're religious or not, but you find it a lot, like the word do,
Mhm.
and it means a new beginning, like starting
Mm,
over, like a
okay.
refresh. To do in the morning is a new opportunity. So I wanted to connect that with my clients because every time you buy a new house, starting from scratch,
Right.
starting from zero, it's a new thing that you can build however you want. Right? It's a
Okay.
fresh start. So that's where it came from, and that's how I connect it. Right. I also when I have two daughters. My oldest daughter, when she was a baby, I used to take her to school with me, to college with me, and like sometimes she'll go to daycare or whatever. And she used to love to give me leaves. Like, she would just pick up leaves and she'd just give it to me, right? So that stuck to me, right? Like, since she was little, she always like she wouldn't pick up flowers or anything. It was just like a leaf. I
Leaf.
go, "This is pretty, Dad." I'm like, "Here, keep it." I was like, "Okay." So that my logo is about that, right? And the dew in the morning, it's in the leaves, right? So it kind of like all connected. I was like, "Okay, this is me.
Okay.
All right, this is represents me."
Okay.
Yeah,
I like it. I did not know that.
yeah.
I'm wondering, does most people know that, or
No, I think like not a lot of
that's
people
a
know it.
that's a
Yeah.
lot of behind the
It's a
name.
lot of behind, yeah. It's a lot of like, like I say, it represents you, represents your brand. It tells you a lot of things. So it's very rare that the person that asks me, like, what is do? Like, what is that?
Okay.
Right. That I had to sit down and explain like I just did to you.
But this is
Because it
what it's
has a
for. This is what happens on podcasts. Okay, this is
yeah,
what happens
yeah,
on
yeah. So
podcasts.
it
Get the
has
real
a deeper
meaning.
meaning. Yeah.
And that's an interest, because what I'm trying to do here with the broker owner series is just to, the names behind the brands. You got all these agents running around, love agents.
Right.
Sometimes we hate them, sometimes we love them, right? But we don't really have this outlet where brokers get together and talk.
Yeah.
And I think that's something we need to, change.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that about your name. I really appreciate that. That's
No.
something crazy.
Yeah.
Your hardest, what would you say your hardest year so far building the business? What has it been?
I think when I decided to like, I'm gonna be on my own, right? Like I'm
Mhm.
gonna separate from my previous brokerage and like I want to build my business. And I think I did it. I jumped to it too fast.
Okay.
So I wasn't in the industry for too long because I already knew from the beginning I want to make my own business. So when I felt like, okay, I think I have enough, but I didn't have enough. I didn't know, right?
Okay.
And when do you know?
Yep.
It's kind of
Yeah.
weird to like, when are you ready? So I decided to, within like my first 2 years, I'm gonna do my own business, right? And I found like a sponsor to sponsor my brokerage.
Mhm.
And then after that, like a year after, I got my broker's license
Okay.
because I knew like right away, like I need to do this. But that transition was a lot of learning for me,
Right.
like because I was like, shit, like there's a lot of things that
Yeah.
a broker has to do that an agent doesn't,
Yeah.
right? And agents don't see that,
Yeah.
right? And like
Yeah.
for me, it was a lot of learning experience that I should have stayed with my previous broker maybe to learn more or like maybe learn from some other experienced broker more,
Yeah.
but I didn't. And I think that's a fault of mine, right? Like,
Did you ever have a point where you was gonna, hey, I'm not gonna do this? You ever had that? Did you ever come to that point
I
like,
mean,
hey,
no,
I
not
jumped
really.
I jumped in this water.
Yeah, yeah.
Did you ever have that point?
I guess at times. I mean, I think everybody had it.
Right.
Has had it that
Oh,
they're
I've had
like,
it many
yeah,
times. I just had one this morning. So hey, look.
yeah. No, I get it. Like sometimes you're like, what the fuck am I doing?
Mhm.
Like I had a good salary with good benefits because I have no benefits now,
Right.
right? I had a good thing going. Like, why did I come to do this? Well, I didn't need to, right?
Mhm.
Like, I used to make really good money,
Yeah.
right? And now I came to make no money,
Mhm.
right? And that's why they call us brokers when I was broke,
Mhm. Broke
right? So
brokers.
yeah, broke
Yeah.
brokers. So
All day, every day.
you always question that. But for me, it's like, dude, like shit doesn't get built overnight,
Right.
right? You have to keep working at whatever you're doing, and eventually it's gonna. And yeah, it has.
So
Eventually it's been growing.
so with that point, because I know that every broker has the same point, at least I don't know. At what point Did you have a conversation with yourself and say, "Hey, I think it's working"? Was there a point in time that you
I
sat there and said, "Okay, yeah, this is kind of work"?
I think like it's a self pet talk every day.
Okay.
Right? There's not like a steady like, okay, it's working. Because I mean, like 2 years ago or a year and a half ago, like I had my worst year. I was like, what the fuck?
Hmm.
Because the
Hmm.
market went super crazy.
Hmm.
Rates went 7, 8%, and nobody wanted to buy nothing. And we were gonna sell like it was hard to sell stuff, right? So,
Yeah.
and I think the market's still trying to adjust, right?
Oh
To that.
yeah, we're still
Yeah,
adjusting.
yeah, I was still adjusting.
Yeah.
So it's not as like when I got in, man, like I was competing against 70 other offers.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was 2020. So
Mm-hmm.
like everybody in the grandma was buying and it was a hot market. But I knew myself like it's just not gonna last.
Right.
It's gonna be good for maybe another year. And then after that,
Yeah.
it's gonna be a huge crash.
Yeah.
Right. So from there, like if I knew from the beginning that it was gonna be hard to actually build a business really high and then I'm gonna build it when it's low.
Yeah.
Right? So I already knew that, and I was already prepared for that. So that's why there's not been like, I'm making this, right? It's like always like, just keep going and it's gonna work out.
Yeah. And a lot of times that, especially in this business, we've had people that, we've seen it. They came in 2020 and they only lasted probably about 2022.
Yeah,
It was gone and
exactly.
it was out.
Yeah.
Soon as that interest rate went up there, it's like, "Pew," gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it happened. It happened, like, I remember when I went to the academy here in El Paso,
Mm.
class was like 40 people. It was packed,
Yeah.
right? And then out of all of them, I think I know one person still that it's in real estate,
Yep.
right? Like everybody else is like, bro, like that sucked, right? And
Yeah.
it's not for everybody, and it's not just the market is the stress it puts on people.
Mhm.
Some people can't deal with that.
But, I would say this too with the agents here is that I can see it like in slow motion. The
Mhm.
agents that really treat the industry and the business like a business and
Mhm.
really focus on that. And I mean, what I mean by they willing to own it. Good, the bad, the ugly. They willing to own it. They ain't pointing to a broker. They're not pointing to a company. Not pointing to anybody else except for them. You can see them mature. You can see them grow. I noticed that when we have agents, and I'm here, been here for a while doing this, and they're pointing to everybody except for them,
Mhm. They're not gonna make
they
it.
not gonna make it.
Yeah.
And that's this business. It's the beauty of the business. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? It's true. The truest form of this business is that it's like a baby.
Yeah.
Fat baby, ugly baby, it's your baby.
Yeah.
When you really think about it, it's your baby. That
Yeah.
baby's cute, great. If that baby's ugly, it's still your baby.
Yeah. You can
And
deal
that's
with
if
it.
you treat it like this business like that, you really own it. Those are the agents I see really going far.
Yeah.
Now you say your business is built on integrity and education. Those are huge works,
Yeah. For
right?
me, yeah.
And could you talk to that point about that?
Yeah, so for me, like when I came into this industry, I didn't know anything, right? So for me, I came from military. I've always been a team sport kind of guy. Like team to me was a lot. It meant a lot. So when I got into this industry, it was like a shock that like, oh shit, there's not a lot of teamwork within, even though it seems like it, but most people are all by themselves. Right.
Yep.
So for me, it was like, I don't want to build that type of business. I don't want my brokerage to be that type of business. Like if I'm gonna build something, I want to make sure that we are doing it for the right reasons. To me, integrity, loyalty, they're big,
Yep.
right? There's something like I said earlier, that we're brainwashed about
We
that.
can teach some agents about some loyalty.
Oh my God, tell me about it, man. But
Yeah, talk about some
some
loyalty.
people, it's just if they don't have it in them, there's nothing you could do,
Yeah.
right? And I've learned that, like, dude, just let it go,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it's really hard and especially in this industry, to find a loyal agent. Right? You could do everything for them,
Yeah.
and I'm that type of broker. Like for my agents, I'll do anything.
Huh.
I burn bridges for my agents, and I don't care because I want to make sure I do right by my people. Right? I always want to make sure I do right by my people, but they have no issues turning around and
Yeah. Yeah.
screwing you over, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's just the industry, right? And unfortunately, money changes people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, the self-preservation in this industry is probably at the highest level. My wife's attorney,
Hmm.
right? And, I look at how they operate and how they move. And I can see they don't jump, 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 jump.
Mhm.
They exhaust all means to try and make sure they can do things the right way and not burn
Right.
bridges because they know they got to see these people down the road.
Exactly.
You don't find that a lot sometime in real estate,
No.
and I think that's something that, is a
It's sad.
whole that is you mentioned about betrayal, you
Yeah.
know, and I saw it in the bio there, and I can speak to that over and over again, uh,
Yeah.
but it also makes you as a broker, you learn, you
Yeah.
know. I used to be so like devastated when an
Mhm.
agent left the brokers or something like that, right?
Right.
And I'm not like that no more,
Right.
because I've got to a point, at least where I'm at, what I offer sometimes is not always value,
That's
right?
true.
And so it doesn't mean that my offer is any less. It's
Mhm.
just that the person that's on the other side is not valuing what I'm offering.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you ever met to that point.
Yes, I have.
And once I got to that point and I had people leave for whatever reasons, I was a little bit better. I approached it in a different manner.
Yeah.
I approached it from a perspective like, okay, hey, it's okay. I'm going to
Mhm.
continue to offer what I offer,
Yeah.
and the right person will come
Will
and see
come
the
and get it.
value.
Exactly.
Right. So
Yeah.
that's the way I end up doing it. But I used to be hurt.
Yeah.
Oh
It
man, it's
it
be like,
you do get hurt
I
because
was like,
you put a lot into it,
yeah, you
right?
put that, yeah, everything. Yeah.
Like you as a broker, you wanna 'cause the agents represent you,
Right.
right? So
Yeah.
whatever the agent's doing is like you're doing it.
Yeah.
So you wanna make sure that agent, it's gonna do the right thing always. And you put so much thing into them, but, you know, it's not enough for some people.
So since you've been doing this, have you ever experienced something, and maybe without naming names or anything like that, have you ever experienced something that's had made you a better leader in this process, or a situation or person or anything like that that you can set down? It's like, hey, that made me grow.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's every transaction makes you grow somehow.
Yeah.
But there are some that like you're like, "Oh shit, like I'm glad I did this." Or
Hmm.
like, "Oh shit, I learned this." Right? So there's a lot. Like I learned a lot when I was first starting by myself, right? Cuz I didn't have the support cuz I went by myself and I was like, "Oh, I think I can handle it." Like I'm a kind of hardhead, which it's a bad thing.
Hmm.
Right? And I've learned to like, "All right, bro, like sometimes you need help." But I've met other agents on the other side that I'm like, how the hell are you still an agent? Right. But it made me appreciate how I do my business.
Okay.
Right. Because they like the way they do their business, I was like, man, like how in the world? Right. Like, why will people trust you the way
Right.
if you would see the shit that you do on the back end? Right. And for me, I was like, I don't want to be that. Right. So it makes me grow on that sense, I guess.
Let me ask this: social media wise, your thoughts with social media, and particularly when it comes to agents that came in after 2020. Do you think it's been a blessing? You think it's been a crutch? It's been,
I
because
mean,
I got mixed emotions about it.
yeah. So it's a new world, right? So, social media is pretty much everything,
Right.
right? So for me, like I'm not huge on social, like I'm not great at social media
Hmm.
myself,
Right.
right? But I do push my agents to be because I know that's where it's going. Me personally, I mean, I'm not dumb. I know eventually we're not going to be needed. Like I really think that AI is going to take over, right?
Mm.
Because our job, the only thing that AI cannot replace is the human interaction where we have
Mm.
it right here.
Hmm.
Other than that, they could do it, and
Okay.
I'm pretty sure they could do it better. And I guess that's my engineering side that comes out. Then, as I understand, it's like 20, 30. My daughters, they're probably not gonna want to buy a house from me. They want to buy a house from their damn iPad, right? So I understand that, and I know that social media is it's kind of like was going that way because people like it's really like I have agents that they never met their clients,
Hmm.
right? Like, oh yeah, I met on social media and we do everything. Like I'm gonna meet them at the closing, or I'm never gonna meet them at the closing because they're doing, signing. I'll meet them whenever I get them the keys.
Yeah.
That's the first time they actually
Yeah.
have the human
Right.
interaction, and I'm accepting that and like, look, I need to make sure I change with that because
Hmm.
if I don't, I'm gonna be a dinosaur and then I'm gonna die.
Yeah.
Right?
I differ on that.
Yeah.
And my thoughts is that, yeah, I love social media. I think it's great. I think it's a vehicle that's gonna it's already changed how we connect and meeting the buyer and the consumers where they at, probably faster and better. But I have people in this office that they're so into views and views and
Oh
views.
yeah.
And I'm like, okay, that's cool. That's great. But at some point in time, you gonna have to talk to somebody. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like you gonna have to
I
come out
agree.
of that internet. You gonna have
Yeah.
to come off Facebook. You gotta come off Instagram, come off TikTok,
Yeah.
and you're gonna have to have a conversation.
On the people side.
And you gotta have a people side. And I
Yeah.
guess that's where I'm at.
Yeah.
Until that changes, and I don't think it's 100% changed.
Yeah.
There's always gonna be a need to have this portion of the aspect of the business to me
Mhm.
to be there. And
Yeah.
I've just had this conversation 2 days ago with somebody. I was like, "Hey, this is good. Your views is good. I love that. Great, great. But what happened when you actually got to talk to this person face
Yeah.
to face?
Yeah.
And if you don't know what to say, and you don't know what to do,
That's bad.
that's bad.
Yeah,
And
that's
you're
bad.
supposed to be the tactician, the calm professional,
Mhm.
the guidance counselor, and all these different things, which takes the human dimension of it. And
Right.
if you can't do that,
Yeah, it's hard.
it's hard. It's
Yeah.
hard. Yeah.
No, I completely agree with that.
Yeah.
Uh, but at the same time, there's a new generation coming by that they've grown with nothing but technology,
Correct. Correct.
right? So
Correct. And then when you get them on the phone, it's like, oh man, okay, y'all use the social media
yeah.
guru. Okay, got
Yeah.
you, got you. Let me ask another question. Broker collaboration. I've noticed
Mhm.
something in El Paso. This is what I'm trying to change, right? That brokers only don't really talk, right?
Yeah, I see
Uh,
that.
why do you think that is?
I'm not sure. I mean, personally, I think like it's just how it's been. And I don't know if they take it as competition
Mm,
because I've never seen real estate as competition. Like me and you, we
mm,
will never compete.
right,
We're going to collaborate,
right,
right? Like we're in opposites of the deal. Like I'm not here to compete against you.
hmm
I'm here to do the same thing that you trying
right.
to do,
Yeah,
close a deal, right?
yeah,
Help our clients.
yeah.
That's the way I see it.
Hmm.
And I don't know if these other brokers, because in my experience, most of the brokers I met, they're very experienced,
Hmm.
right? They're not very young brokers.
Hmm.
I met like maybe two or three younger brokers, right? Most of them they already have they've been doing it for a long time
Right.
and they already have this mentality, right? So when I saw that, you wanted to do like I was like, man, this is great.
Mhm.
Like I've never seen another broker trying to reach out to another broker just to talk,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Like that's why I was like, yeah, I'm gonna jump into that. I
yeah.
definitely want to do that because I want to be part of that.
And
Right.
I think it's like a box of chocolates for me, and I go around and I talk to a lot of people. And for the most part, surprisingly, when you get a chance to talk to another broker in town, and they totally open and want to talk.
Yeah.
But I don't see us collaborating the way we probably should.
Right.
Um, Agents got a bunch of agents to talk to all the time
Yeah.
about their problems. It's the Evo Mafia. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
They
shit,
got a
man.
bunch
Yeah.
of people to talk to. But then when we have, some issues, some real things that maybe we want to think through the process, we don't really pick up the phone and call each other and say, okay, man,
No.
have you ever experienced this? And I
Yeah.
think that we could do a lot better with that on our own,
Yeah.
if we just sit there and say, hey, yeah, I can't pick up the phone and call Peter. I
Yeah.
can't pick up the phone and call whoever.
Right.
And maybe he might have something. It's not a deal between us, but it just
Yeah.
may be something we can probably,
Yeah.
hey, okay, well, I'll try that.
Yeah.
Thanks.
See if it works
Appreciate it.
out.
And
Yeah,
see if it
yeah,
works out. But I wanna make a dent in that. I hope we can. I hope
yeah.
this
Yeah.
does something
No, I
like
think
that.
that's great because it's, like I said, in this industry, we should be collaborating with each other. Right. And I don't think there's a lot of that mentality here.
If we put something here, and I'm gonna try and do this, but I'm gonna try and put something together where maybe just once a quarter, brokers just meet up for coffee, something like that.
Yeah.
Shake hands, grip and grin, know
Right.
who we are, and because we get in these situations where all these agents are doing whatever, and all of a sudden now I pick up the phone and I'm talking to Peter because we got issues.
Right.
I think that's like the wrong time to have the first conversation.
Right.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It'd
Exactly.
be it'd be better to be like, yeah, man, just met you last week at the coffee. Yeah, man, we got these.
Mhm.
See if we can find common ground for these agents. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good stuff. That's when I want to do that. All right. Okay. As a fellow veteran, I
Mhm.
know transitioning is not always easy. What advice would you give a veteran who's getting out? What advice would you give them if they wanted to pursue real estate?
Ooh, okay.
Or maybe just in general when they get
Just in
out now,
general, right?
but maybe not even real estate.
Anything. I think it's hard, for especially somebody who's been like in the army for that's all they know
Mhm.
since like I went in at 18 and I got out really young too, but for somebody that went in at 18 and got out at 35, 36 when they did 20 years.
Mhm.
That's all they know.
Right.
The army or the military in general, that's all they don't know exactly how to treat it. Be a civilian,
Mhm.
right? For them, it's so my advice is, just take your time, right? Like you're always gonna find yourself, I need to do something else because you got to keep yourself busy. Because I know I did that. I
Right.
don't know if you did that, but when I went to college, like I was like, dude, I'm going to school for 3 days out of the week. What else do I do with my life?
Mm.
Right. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna pick up a job. I'm gonna pick up another major. I'm gonna pick up, volunteer here and there because I wanted to be busy. Right. And like I just wanted to make sure like my schedule was always up and running. And sometimes it's not the right like take a step back, right? And like appreciate that you already did what you did. Right. Now enjoy your life. Like what is it that you're gonna do? If it's real estate or whatever it is, right? Like that you're gonna do it and enjoy it because you already
Yeah.
deserve that,
Mm.
right? You already did whatever, however much time. And then another thing that I don't know, like for me personally, that I didn't understand until very after I got out, is that it's okay to not be okay.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
yeah. So for me, like that was the biggest thing that I didn't get,
Yeah.
because I was young, I was naive, and I didn't know that like, bro, it's okay not being okay.
Yeah. And I just
Yeah,
came into that. I'm a lot older than you, and
yeah,
our regime was still into that. Hey, hide all your
right.
feelings, hide all whatever you're thinking, and hide not what you're thinking, but you can't come
Yeah,
out
your
and
problems are your problems.
right. Yep.
Yeah,
Right.
keep it.
And then I do understand now that that was a wrong way that we had
Yeah,
the mentality that at that time. So I
yeah,
think that's the biggest thing that I could tell people right now, transition out the military,
yeah,
that it's okay to be okay.
yeah.
I mean, not okay.
Not okay. Yeah.
Okay. So that's big. That's
It
real
is,
big.
yeah,
Yeah.
and a lot of people don't get that, and
Mhm.
it's sad, like, like, sometimes when, like, I have a veteran that just got out or whatever, and he's dealing with this, and I could kinda see it 'cause
Mhm.
I've been there, right? And I was like, "Bro, like, it's alright, like, you'll be alright." Just recognize that, I guess.
So let me ask this. What benefits do you wish that veterans might have understood or understand as they're transitioning? Because a lot of times there's people going out different directions and they have
Yeah,
no clue about some of the benefits. Is there anything that you
right.
would share with somebody?
I mean, that was one of those. I didn't know I had benefits. I got out and I was like, that's it. Like,
Okay.
it's my life. Like, I need to go get a school, get an education, and keep going. But there's so much other shit that I didn't know I had issues with.
Okay.
Right. And I didn't realize that there are so many organizations that are there to help you out,
Mm.
right? Or reach out or somebody, sometimes like just talking to somebody. Right. So know that there are a lot of benefits for you. There's a lot of resources for you. Whatever you're going through, whatever it is.
Mhm.
Right.
Is there something that you found out once you got out that you didn't know about the benefit? And then you find out later, say, hey, this is what something
Yeah.
I didn't know?
Yeah. Like, I mean, there's a lot, like, especially the VA, like healthcare. Or like for me, it was like, bro, like I gotta like I was raised in Juarez, so like if something wrong with me, I just cross the border. Like I had no issues. Like for me, like I'm not gonna see a doctor here. I'm just
Right,
gonna
right,
go
right.
see a doctor over there.
Okay.
But a lot of people are not like me, right? So they might have something, and most of the time when we're talking about veterans, it's not a physical thing; it's a mental thing, right? And then I realized that there are so many organizations like a vet center or just going enrolling into the VA
Hmm.
that is gonna help you out, right?
Okay.
And a lot of people, we have this, I don't know, I know it's a new army from what I understand,
Yeah.
but a lot of people are like, I don't want to seek the help because that makes me weak. And it's opposite, right? Like you need to seek the help because that's going to make you stronger,
Okay.
right? Yeah.
In terms of family and success,
Mhm.
I guess what keeps you grounded?
I think my daughters do. So my daughters have been, my daughters are the reason why I'm in real estate
Okay.
because, like I said, I used to live in Houston. So when we moved, I got divorced and they moved here back to El Paso. I needed to come back, right? So I needed to find something to live, right? I was like, all right, if I can't find an engineering job, what else am I going to do? Right. So then real estate came the opportunity, and it gave me the opportunity to give me the time to spend with them, which I didn't have when I was in engineering. I used to work 14 to 20-hour days and I used to travel a lot. I mean, the pay was great,
Mhm.
but the time was horrible.
Yeah.
Like I didn't spend a lot of time. Like I felt like I was like away more from home than when I was in the military.
Mm.
Right. But once I found real estate, I was like, oh shit, I can make my own schedule.
Right.
Right. I can do my own thing. So they are the ones that like, they're the reason.
Mhm.
All right. That, and I don't know if you know me, like if you ever done showings with you or whatever, they're there.
Mhm.
If they're with me, they're
They're
with
there.
me because I don't
Right.
mind it. Right.
Right.
Like they're my daughters and they need to understand that I came from a very, my dad, like I say, I came from the hood. So my mom always was always working. So I want to make sure that my daughters understand that too.
Mm.
All right. Like if you want to get somewhere, you got to work
And
to get
that's,
it.
that's really, setting the blueprint and for them to emulate, and which I've learned, success 10 years ago is not what I define success today,
Yeah. It
and it
changes.
changes. And I don't know if you, what did success look like for you 10 years ago,
Yeah.
versus now,
Yeah.
and
It's very different.
yeah, very different. And sometimes, family grounds us,
Yeah.
and I know that has changed for me like incredibly.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna do a, a, a lightning round. All right, let's do one word describing yourself. Are you coffee or energy drink?
I don't think I'm either. I'm very sensitive to caffeine.
Okay.
Yeah, so I try not to. I don't drink coffee or energy drink, so when I do, I'm very jittery.
Tequila.
Tequila, I mean, that's the other thing. I'm not a drinker. So, funny story. I used to be stationed in Germany when I was 18. Right. So I don't know if you've ever been to Germany,
Mm,
but
all right.
drinking age over there is 16. Right. So at 18, you could drink, but didn't even drink. I didn't really start drinking until I was 32, 33.
So I'm a bad influence, y'all. Bad
He
influence.
made me drink. But if I drink, it's gonna be tequila, right?
Okay.
But I'm not a drinker. Sorry.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. He just did this for the podcast. All right.
No.
Okay. Best leadership book.
Best leadership book. So this is gonna be surprising because I have a master's. I'm not a good reader. I do like to read books, but I'm not a great reader because I have a very short attention span.
So what? Let me ask this then. What book, if any?
But
Sure.
I've read, I guess, I've audioed books.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of good books that I had to read on my grad school.
So just for
Right.
clarity, when I say books, I'm talking about Audible. Okay. All right. I ain't talking about, okay. Just want to put that for
Reading,
clarity
yeah.
for anybody else to come
Um,
on here. We're talking about Audible. Okay.
yeah. So there's a lot of books, but one that paused my mind. There's two books. What's it called? Rich Man, Poor Man.
Okay.
So that's a good one.
Good one. Yeah.
And then the other one is Ninja Selling. I don't know if you ever
Yeah.
saw.
Yeah.
I heard of it.
Big one. And they come in town. I think some brokers had them come in town. I think we had a couple agents go to it.
Yeah.
They came back really
Yeah.
like changed.
Yeah. So those, like, for the real estate side, it helped me a lot.
Right.
Right. Because for me, it was like, okay, I need to understand something different. For leadership itself, like for me, it's just been experiences.
Okay.
Like I said, I had the pleasure to have really good leaders
Okay.
and really bad leaders.
Okay.
Right. So I was happy I had both. So I know both ends of the spectrum. And it shaped me to be, the military was like, okay, I want to be like that person kind of thing.
Worst business advice you ever received while doing this business?
Worst business advice. Oh man. I think that everybody said this is easy. It's not easy. But on the I mean, a lot of people tell you that they've been in like, this is easy, right?
Yeah.
But it's not easy to you.
Right.
Right. Yeah. So like you gotta, and it's true, like we make it as hard as we want it, but this industry, the hardest thing that I had to do, because like I said, I'm an engineer, so I like being keeping to myself. Right. So me talking to people,
Opening up.
you opening up. I remember the first time I had to like talk to somebody that I didn't know, I was petrified.
Yeah.
So what if I said the wrong shit?
Yeah.
But then I realized they don't know I'm saying the wrong shit.
Yeah. They don't have no.
They have no clue, right? But yeah, you know,
All right. Next one. What's your favorite place in El Paso?
my favorite place in El Paso. I'm guessing you're talking about like iconic places. I like going to the Star because I think it's peaceful. Like a night,
Okay.
scenic drive
Okay.
where the star's at.
Yeah.
I like looking over the city where I can see the city and Juarez.
Okay.
'Cause I grew up in both. So I think it's like relaxing to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Favorite military memory?
Favorite military memory. I think I have a lot, but I really like the being around other people, like the camaraderie within the military.
Mhm.
Like for me, like I can't sing for shit,
Okay.
but like the thing that I love about the military is cadence.
Oh, yeah.
Like marching, doing cadence, and like just I'm a horrible runner by the way too. But like just running with cadence, like to me, like that was like, damn, this is sweet
Yeah.
because everybody's in unison, everybody's like creating one,
Yeah.
and it brings you like some type of energy that
Yeah.
you can't get anywhere else.
People just will know if you never served and you never been in a battalion or brigade run and you got thousands of soldiers singing cadence all at the same time going
Man,
down the street. You'll never
survive.
experience that one.
Yeah,
It is a fond memory of mine as well. So it's
yeah,
just people just don't know what
yeah,
that really feels like. Yeah.
yeah.
Let's see. One thing that people don't know about Peter Diaz.
Man, I think there's a lot of shit people don't know about me because I'm a very private person.
Okay.
So I like to separate the business with the personal a lot. So for me, like my personal life is my personal life. I try to, keep it that way. But man, there's a lot of things. I mean, I grew up in Segundo. People that know me know that. So I grew up in the projects. I used to cross the border. So I guess one of the things I know when I was third grade, so I don't know how old that is, 7 or 8 years
Mhm.
old.
Yeah, I think so.
I used to cross the border every day by myself. So I used to live in Juarez. I know this is crazy, right? But like I used to get the bus, which is called La Ruta in Juarez, from my house in Juarez to the bridge. And then I would walk the bridge and then cross the bridge every morning because my school was literally right next to the bridge. I went to AOA Elementary. The old AOA, the new one is a lot better. But to me, that shit was normal. Like, that's nothing. Now I don't let my daughters go to the corner,
Yeah.
which is crazy. And I
Yeah.
used to like be in Juarez, all
Oh, yeah.
8-year-old kid, like going to school,
Shit's changed,
crossing the
man.
border every day. Like the
Shit's
border patrol
changed.
guy would know me like every day. I'm like, what's up, Pedro? Because my actual name is Pedro. It's not Peter.
Okay. I love something that you wrote. Your character will always outlast your success.
That's true.
Where did you get that from?
I think that's also a military thing. I learned that the person you are is more important than how successful people see you because that's going to carry you more. Like the genuine person that you are. People are going to follow that more than success, I guess. A lot of people label success as money, which I don't,
Mhm.
right? I label success as did you do the right thing?
Yeah.
And are you happy? Right? Then you were successful, whatever you did. So your character is a lot, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. When people mention Peter Diaz 20 years from now,
Shit.
what do you hope they say?
I've never really cared about what people say because people
Let's
will
not say
say,
nice people.
yeah,
Let's
nice
say your
people.
daughters. What do you
Yeah. So
what do you hope they say?
hope they say that dad was there. That dad did everything he could to make our life easier.
Okay.
Right. That I cared. Right. Because I never had that.
Right.
Like I grew up with a single mom, so having that my daughters know that like I'm always there for them. For me, that's everything.
Okay. All right. This podcast is called The Entrepreneur Foxhole, and every entrepreneur has moments that they feel like, you know, that pins them down to where they at. It could be moments of being scared, could be moments of triumph, could be moments of success. What would your moment be as an entrepreneur in terms of how you would describe it?
I guess to persevere, like to not like give up because there's so many. Like you said, you this morning you're like, "Fuck this, I'm done with this." But just telling yourself like, it's hard. This industry is hard, right? So just telling yourself you could do it, never giving up. Like to me, that's huge, and I see that in a lot of agents, and I try to tell them like, look, shit's gonna be hard, right? But as long as you don't give up, you're gonna get through it. But if you give up, nobody's gonna tell you how could have been, right? So, I mean, there's so many things that there's always issues. Like if there's a transaction, I know there's gonna be some sort of
Oh
issue.
yeah, and
There's
nothing's always
always,
good.
right? So you can't
Yeah.
say that like I had the perfect transaction
Uh-huh.
because perfect for everybody's gonna be different,
Yeah.
right? What is perfect to you? Well, I had no issues, which that's impossible because there's always some type of issue. As long as you don't let that define you, like because you're gonna make mistakes. And I tell this to my agents. It's okay to make mistakes. I actually encourage you to make the mistakes because I want you to learn from it.
Yeah.
That's how you learn.
I tell the agents here, I'd rather have 100 questions than one lawsuit. Right?
Exactly.
100 questions versus one
Yeah.
lawsuit. Right?
Call me, text me, and I think that's one thing that for I tell all my agents, like, look, if it's midnight and you are going through something or you don't know what to do, fucking call me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I'll be there for you. Right?
Yeah.
Like, because like you said, like I'd rather you bother me 100 million times a day than later on find you in trouble.
Right.
Right? It's not about my life because I'm gonna get sued too, right?
Mhm.
But I don't want you to be in trouble,
Right.
right? Because that means that I put you in trouble, right? And that's my image too.
So this is going to be an easy question. The next one, you have to choose one.
Okay.
I'm asking all the brokers this question: lose a deal or lose your reputation?
Lose a deal. 100 times lose a deal.
All right.
There's no deal that is worth your reputation because your
Mhm.
reputation is everything.
Okay.
Right? There's always gonna be deals that are gonna come. There's business here for everybody. Right? So there's no one deal that it doesn't matter the amount of money it is that will get your reputation. Because your reputation, once your reputation is gone, you can get that shit back.
I understand.
Another deal, there's thousands of deals out
Right.
there. And every day there's
All right, Peter. Thank you for coming in.
no,
Appreciate you.
absolutely, man. Thank you for
doing this.
inviting me. This was great.
No, this is cool.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
We didn't draw no blood or nothing. We good.
No,
Yeah.
man, no. I mean, I like this. Thank you for inviting me, and I hope we collaborate more. If you ever have coffee, I'm not a coffee person, but I'll come, man.
Okay.
I'll definitely help out for
Appreciate it.
sure.
All right. Never know who we're going to have an entrepreneur Foxhole. Tune in to next time. We may have a broker, may have a builder, may have anybody on here. So until then, peace.